Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I am your host, Producer Jay. We got a full house today. We got Brother Tay.
The return of the sick man.
Yes. It's been like way too long if you've always been sick or busy.
I am still sick for I am still sick. I was sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a while, but glad you're back. And we also got Brother Zay.
Yo.
What's up, guys? Before we get started, I want to remind you that you can like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. You can also rate us on any podcast app that you're listening to us on. And if you go into the description, you can see our sponsors, which is W Energy. You can use code LUP at checkout to save 10% off your first order. You can support us by clicking on the link for NordVPN. You can save some money off of, I think it's like 3-year subscription or something like that. It's a really great deal.
Months, it's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's very, very worth it. I would say. And also Starforge PCs for all your custom PC needs. We thank you for supporting them and for supporting us. With that out of the way, what have you guys been playing? We can start with Brother Tay.
Dude, while I was sick, I decided to download a new game called Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh, yes. I have played that too.
Oh, can't wait to destroy friendships and memories.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
Oh no, I played it, but like I've been home.
No,
I haven't left my house.
Yeah,
so
that's the party game that you gotta play with people. And even though you could play online, which all right, I do have a bone to pick with that game because I wanted to play because they have a new mode where it's like you can play like 8 players or something like that, and then there's another mode that you can play like 20 players.
Yeah, but I already know what you're going to talk about. Nope.
You can't play with multiple people on one Switch. And that is so annoying. Like, why would you do that? No. You can play like the regular like Mario Party game, but that's only 4 players. If you want to do the other modes, it's 1 player per Switch.
Yep.
That's
yeah, it's so annoying.
They're like, there's enough Nintendo Switches out there. One person.
Yeah. Like, why are they worried about freaking...
There's also a thing like with the 20-player mode. If you like join a party, like you guys are playing together, you can't play the 20-player mode with 20 people. You can only play up to your party size, and then we'll put bots in for the rest of them.
Oh, then what the? Oh my god, this freaking game! I hope they maybe add an update to fix that, because I mean they've done it in the past where you can update or they updated it, because I think the first one was it Mario Party.
Superstars?
No, not Superstar. What was the first one for the Switch? Super Mario Party. That's
Super
what it
Mario
was.
Party. Yeah.
Literally like 3 years after it came out, they added online play. Just mad random. So it's possible that they can update it.
It's possible they can update it. Will they do it is the real question.
True. But yeah.
But so Nintendo does that. They're like, because the mode is great, especially like the 20-player mode. It looks fantastic. But again, since it's Nintendo, they'll be like, yeah, you can only play with one person to do 20-player stuff. We're not doing this.
So dumb. I don't get it. But anyway. Brother Zay, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Black Ops.
Yes.
A lot. I already hit Prestige, got like 2 or 3 guns gold. Just playing a lot of Black Ops. I've also been, chugging along in my evil playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, which is really fun. And we're at the last boss fight of Divinity Original Sin 2. We're at the end. We know how to do it. We know what to do it. We just can't get it done. It's a difficult fight, and it's a lot of fun.
Is there a way you can like level up, like kind of grind, so that way you can?
We are the max level.
Oh.
We are the max level, and we have some of the best equipment in the game for our builds. It's just a matter of strategy, like what to do, how to do it. But it's also with a bit of luck because there have been some runs where we almost got it and then we can't. So
Damn.
we hope on Tuesday, because my new work schedule, so it is not my Sunday game anymore. It'll be my Tuesday game. Hope on Tuesday that we'll complete that game, so we'll move on to Space Marines. Move on to Space Marines 2.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Nice. So I have also been playing Black Ops. I've been playing the story mode, the campaign.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, it is very good. Like, honestly, it's probably the best Call of Duty campaign since... well, granted, I haven't played all of them. I played most of them. I haven't played all of them since Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare 2. It's really good.
Modern Warfare 2 was probably the best one.
Yeah, the original Modern Warfare 2 was really good. And
I think this one tops it.
I think this one is better.
It looks like it. I haven't got to check, but I've seen it on Twitch, some other people playing it, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot in it that's like classic. Honestly, it feels like a Mission Impossible game. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
where like you're doing like sneaking and stealth missions, and I won't get into some spoilers, but there is some elements of the zombies mode. I won't say how, but
I already know what to talk about. It's fucking special.
I legit just finished that mission.
Yes, yo, and I want to say, Treyarch needs to make a horror game. They understand how to freaking scare you by doing the very minimal. Like they don't throw it in your face. There's not a lot of jump scares, but they handle the atmosphere and the tenseness that you feel like before you get to like the scary part or whatever.
Yeah.
But
let me tell you, my wife could not watch me play that mission. She had to get up and leave.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
really?
Yo. Yeah.
As I didn't get to play it, so I know like if I ever get to play it, it'll be fucking special. Watching it with like other stuff was a fantastic mode, and I agree.
And it's honestly like I wasn't even expecting it to. And then there's a part where, if on the surface you may not think it's scary, but honestly, like it's really scary. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, like the
thing, like that tensity is so great. They did a great job with the timing and the weighting of it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they understand how to make it work, and I honestly think Treyarch would make a fantastic horror game. Yeah, but they're the Call of Duty studio, so I mean they could make a horror game like within the Call of Duty universe. Like I don't see why they couldn't do that.
Let's be honest. Technically, zombies are supposed to be a horror thing anyway. So
yeah,
they could if they just dial back the shooting part of it. Well, they can keep it horror. They can just make a whole new mode for it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's possible now that they're under Microsoft, and maybe they can like move things around a little bit better. But yeah, if they ever had any aspirations of making a horror game, they should absolutely do it, because I feel like they would knock it out of the park.
They would.
But yeah,
I heard
so
of the Harry mix. I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
Get to work.
But yeah, so that's mainly what I've been playing. I actually beat the campaign on Veteran, and it's not as hard as I thought it was. I think it was last week I was talking about it, and it's pretty doable. Like if you're even a casual Call of Duty player, I feel like you can do it. You just got to be very patient. Like you're gonna die a lot, obviously, but it's really not as hard as I thought it would be. They do. Go ahead.
No, just continue. I'll say later.
No, I was gonna say they do. They kind of give you a break when it comes, like if you're dying at a certain spot very often, they'll give you more checkpoints, so that way you're not having to do everything all over again. So they do kind of like give you a little leeway in that respect, but
they give you a little break.
Yeah, because I remember there was parts where like I would get all the way up to the end and then I'd die, like in the section, and then I had to redo the whole thing. And then like after like the third time I died, it would give me a checkpoint in the middle, just so that way it'd be like, all right, go ahead, go ahead and finish it.
Might just be a game
Yeah.
mode thing. Love it though.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, but yeah, so that's mainly what I've been playing. Once now I finished that, I'm gonna try and do like the challenges, just because I feel like I can do them, and they're not too hard. And then I gotta figure out, maybe I'll go back to Sparking Zero, because I've taken a break from that. I don't want to, but I felt because of Call of Duty, it was so good that I had to keep playing. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. I completely forgot about Sparking Zero due to.
Oh, how dare you!
No, to be fair, it's because of Call of Duty's like the campaign mode looks so good that I forgot about it, and then also my extension of love for Mario Party is to be chaotic. And I was
True.
like, yeah,
You can only stretch yourself so thin.
I'm busy enough as it is.
Yes, exactly.
And trying to get more busy. Like, as you are aware that I just started doing voiceovers and voice acting, so
Yes.
I'm trying to get more busy if anything.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, more busy thing.
but yeah,
wanna
so
be.
I guess with that we can go to the news, because we got a lot.
Yes, we do. And we're gonna start off with tariffs. That's right, gamers. The supposed President-elect Trump wants to put tariffs on the countries that we have to pay more, because that's what tariffs are. People, the consumers, will have to pay more, and that will hit gamers. It will hit gamers for sure. Us gamers will see a significant increase. We're talking about 40 to 50% on our gaming products, not just console games. We're talking about for chips, so PC gaming, everything will start to be going up in prices. And it's all to blame for Trump's supposed tariffs. If he really wants to enact these tariffs on the country, it's going to be bad for everyday people like us who just want a game. 40 to 50% increase is absolutely insane. It'll probably make the PSR Pro cost almost $1,000 with just the console itself.
Yeah, this game, it's gonna be a hard time.
Yeah. And this is not a political podcast, obviously, but
It's an honest podcast.
yeah,
There's nothing else.
it does affect gaming, so it is relevant to what we're talking about. And I think a lot of people misunderstand. I mean, we saw it like before the election, where people just really didn't know what tariffs actually meant. And you would think that because this is not the first time that Trump has made tariffs a thing. Like, he tried to do it during his first presidency, and Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo together opposed these tariffs specifically because they didn't want to have to pay the tariffs. They didn't want to have to raise prices because of it. Like, these companies will pay the tariffs. It's not a deterrent like people think. They're just going to pay it and pass it on to the customer. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So it's really not beneficial to anybody, but I mean, it's not beneficial at all. So like, honestly, I was trying to find like a way, like who would benefit from this. It really doesn't benefit anybody, because it's just raising prices for the sake of raising prices.
You know who it benefits?
Trump.
The rich.
Not even, because they're still gonna have to pay these prices for their goods.
Yeah. But then they'll just raise the prices, and people will still buy products. So the rich get richer. That's it.
I mean, because someone who doesn't, as a lot of people don't understand, like when tariffs are inactive currently, because at the time it was made back then, like during Civil War nonsense. But when tariffs are activated, the prices. You were complaining about inflation. Inflation is going to go up because of tariffs.
Absolutely.
Just honestly speaking, because they have to pay more. They have to pay more to get stuff. Some people are already seeing the effects. Some people, there's some stories going on online about some companies have told their workers that they're not getting Christmas bonuses this year because they gotta spend the extra money to buy extra equipment from overseas before the tariffs kick in, and they can't afford it no more.
That's insane.
Yeah,
It's great.
But yeah, so if you ever thought that the PS6 or the next Xbox was going to be less than $700, keep dreaming, because it's not going to be that way. And honestly, like this is how it's going to be for the next 4 years. So get used to it, because these next consoles are coming out in the next 4 years.
yeah.
And that I mean, who's to say that Nintendo's even going to launch at their price now? I mean, the rumored price was like $400, right? $399?
It was, but we might. Rumors are rumors, but now it might jump up to that PlayStation. The PlayStation 5 first come out prices.
Right?
And I'd be damned if I pay $600 or $700 for a Nintendo console. Nothing against you, Nintendo. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, no.
Big facts. I'm not spending $500 for a Switch 2.
Hell no.
I refuse.
Yep. They could keep that shit. Double it and give it to the next person.
Give it to the next
Give it to
person.
the next one.
Give it to the next guy.
All right, off from there. Let's move on to some news that broke early Saturday morning. Sega is delisting a ton of its classic games. That's right. Sega is delisting a whole bunch of games from all storefronts. We're talking Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, everywhere is being delisted. They have a full list on their website of all the games that will be delisted. But you have until December 6th to purchase the games that will be delisted, because you still be able to download and play them. They just won't be able to purchase them on any of those platforms. So if you're interested in classic games like Crazy Taxi, Sega Bass Fishing, Shinobi, some Sonic games, these are all games we're talking about, like older consoles. We're talking about Sega's, Dreamcast, Saturn, like Jet Set Radio, Gunstar Heroes. If you really want to play these games, you're going to have to buy them before December 6th.
Damn, you said some old ones. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
some old classics. Jesus, I haven't heard those names in a while.
I think this has more to do with Sega, because they're delisting them individually, right?
No, it doesn't say that they're doing that individually. No.
All right. Well, yeah, they don't specify. But if I had to guess, it's delisting them like on an individual basis, like any ports and stuff like that, or like Xbox Live Arcade and stuff like that. Even though that's already been discontinued, but I think it's mostly because they probably want to do more collections. Because I know Sega likes to do those collection games where they put a bunch of games on one thing, and you got to buy that. So I think that's probably the culprit here.
No,
but
it even says it's a mystery. They don't know why. They even asked for a comment from Sega, and they have not responded back. They're wondering.
Business.
Yeah, basically. They're wondering if it's licensing issues with the older games, but they're not sure, because it's just so many games. It's 60 games, so they're not sure if it's a licensing issue. It's more of just still a mystery of why they're doing it.
Or maybe they want to re-release a lot of these games, so get it. But still, that doesn't make sense. Why would they delist the old versions? Like, nobody's like, that's not gonna stop them from re-releasing these games, like an HD remake or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's definitely a mystery, even for like where I'm reading on Polygon, and they don't know why. They're just reporting on it. So we'll find more.
It seems like the bulk of the delistings is on Steam. Because I'm looking at the list now. Some of them are on Xbox, and literally the only things that are being delisted on Switch and PlayStation is the Sega Genesis Classics, which I guess maybe includes all these games. I don't know.
Yeah, don't know either.
But yeah, this is very weird. I don't understand why. I know they were trying to like go back to being or focusing on those titles, those IP, but why delist the old games?
Yeah,
Like,
there is a couple of games that are delisted that they're looking to remake. Like Crazy Taxi was a rumored to be a remake. Golden Axe was rumored to be remake. So it could be something with that. Who knows at this point?
I don't know, but it's still a weird move from Sega because they seem like they wanted to start building back up.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out eventually. I can't really keep it hidden forever, honestly.
Yeah, we'll probably find out soon, but right now we don't know.
We gotta take what we get.
Definitely.
As weird as it is.
And we'll take any bit of news we will get from Nintendo concerning the Switch, because the little bit of news that we got was that it is fully confirmed Nintendo Switch games will be able to be played on the successor for the Nintendo Switch, because it's not even the Switch 2. We don't even know. It's just all still rumors of what the name will be, the price, everything. But they did come out and say that you can play your Nintendo Switch games on the next console, which is big.
Yeah, that was a big confirmation for them to make because it was kind of up in the air because we don't know. Nintendo seems to be hit or miss when it comes to backwards compatibility. They tend to, it really just depends because, like, on the one hand, like if you look at like the Wii, that supported the GameCube and they had the Wii Virtual Console and stuff like that. But and then the Wii U, you look at that supported the Wii, but it didn't support GameCube games. And then the Switch was like a completely new thing. They didn't support anything. So it's like it's up in the air when it comes to backwards compatibility. But I'm glad that they're confirming that the Switch will be playable on the next Switch 2, whatever it ends up being called. Because a lot of people don't want to abandon their library. Like that's a very reasonable thing. And I'm sure Nintendo doesn't want to deter people from upgrading to the Switch 2 just because they will have to start all over or rebuy their games. Even though there would be people who would rebuy the games, but they don't want that to be the main way to get people to upgrade because that's not going to be as much as Switch owners.
I mean, that's what led to like some decreased interest in the Wii U. Was backwards compatibility, especially because like the original Wii was playing GameCube games as well. The Wii U wasn't playing anything.
And the thing is, the Wii U could play, like if you homebrew the Wii U, it could play GameCube games. They just took it out because.
Yeah, so I think Nintendo learned its lesson from that. Especially
Nintendo learned a lesson.
Yeah, something.
That's a joke.
You know what I want.
Look at them emulators on that Switch be doing this work.
Yeah.
On 64, I love the 64 emulator. Can't get rid of it.
You know what I want from Nintendo? I want them to name the Switch 2 the Super Nintendo Switch. That's all I want. I will buy it.
It's not going to happen.
They could. I feel like they could, honestly.
They'll be amazing.
It's better than freaking Wii U. Like,
look, I stopped trying to figure out what the names of systems are going to be after Xbox and Nintendo's switch ups all the time. They fuck
I was
me
gonna
over all
say,
the time.
like, people talk about Xbox being like weird with their names. Like, Nintendo has always been weird.
When the GameCube came out, I was like, all right, this makes sense. Cube plays games. I got it. The next one was the Wii. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck we got to this name.
Yeah, and then I remember the code name for it was Nintendo Revolution, and that was freaking cool. So, and then and we get to Wii, and then Wii U, and then like I guess Switch makes sense.
I was making jokes because I made jokes that the only reason it's called Wii U is because college kids play it. It's Wii University. I was the joke I made for when it first came out.
Wii University.
It was the joke. I was like, I didn't understand the name. I was pissed off when Xbox came out and it was like Xbox One. I was like, why not the Xbox 720? We had so much.
Xbox 720. Why Xbox 360? Like,
I don't know. It went to 360. I don't know why the name of it was 360, but I was already dedicated to it. I was like, I bet we're calling it 360.
Yeah, even
Let's
to this
keep it
day, I don't know I don't know why they called it 360. Like, I don't think
The
there was an
honest,
explanation.
the honest truth, I thought they just called it 360 because like X Games was popular at that time. So they like, I thought that's what they were trying to do. If you want my honest answer,
That's funny.
They were just trying to
I'm
appeal
like,
to
yo, X.
the youngins, the cool kids.
That's what I thought, and I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, yeah, you know what, you do that.
Wow.
That's what my brain was.
At least now I know that my collection of Switch games will be playable on the Switch too, so I don't have to worry about rebuying the games like on PlayStation.
Damn.
Remaking all their games.
Damn.
Shade.
Is it
All right,
really
let's
shade
go.
if it's coming from inside the house? Like, does that really count?
That's crazy.
What? This their fuck ups. I'm not
All right,
defending nobody.
Let's move right along. We're talking about Take-Two selling its publishing arm, Private Division, to an unnamed buyer. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who brought Private Division, but they brought their entire catalog of games that are out and the future games. So, it's a big transaction. I don't know when they're going to announce who actually purchased this private divisions section of Take-Two. I want to know. I really want to know, like, who made this purchase.
Yeah, because do they get all right? So Vince McMahon.
Oh damn! I thought I snuck it under.
No, no, I heard you. Yeah, no, it is curious because Private Division has published a bunch of different games. Would they get the publishing rights to those games? Whoever bought them?
If it's straight, they bought the whole company. They bought the whole company for future and current releases, right? So technically, they would also buy the trademarks and for it. So technically, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. So then, but all right. So let me actually look up because I know they did the Outer Worlds.
They did
And
that
that was
Kerbal Space Program 2,
okay.
Ollie World, Roller Dome, and Hades.
Oh, Hades? Oh, wow. Okay, that's
Hades is a Take-Two game. I know.
Okay.
I forget all the time as well.
Tales of the Shire is currently the publisher's only upcoming announced title. So that's another title that's upcoming that's announced. It's slated to launch in March of next year.
I mean, it could be anybody, honestly. Like,
if not, it's probably Tencent.
Tencent or didn't what was it? Remember when what was it? What they called? I'm blanking on their name. Embracer. I was gonna say Ensemble. Embracer. When they were partnering and they were getting a donation from like a big backer or something like that. And we all thought like, oh, maybe it's Tencent, maybe it's Microsoft, maybe it's Sony or something like that. And it ended up being the Saudi government. And I mean, it fell through, so it never materialized. But it could just be some random person, like, or it could be like a third party outside entity from the gaming industry that we're just not thinking of. Because that's what comes to mind when they say, oh, mystery buyer. Like, why would it be a mystery? I feel like if it was somebody in the gaming industry, like, they'd want to know about it. Like, they want people to know that they bought this. So it could just be a third party.
Is it bad that I was about to say is the Iraqi government that bought it?
It was Donald Trump.
I knew it.
So make
wants to get into gaming
great again.
Gaming great again. Oh my god.
All right, let's move right along to Call of Duty Studios. Sledgehammer Games is going to be working on, or reportedly to be working on, a new Halo game. So the makers of Modern Warfare 3 will be working with Halo Studios to work on a next Halo game. Now, who knows what this next Halo game is? But the Sledgehammer Games working on it. That's like next level stuff. You have all the minds at Halo Studios, formerly 343, And then you have the greatness from all the Call of Duty stuff from Sledgehammer coming to work together to make a Halo game. Man, Halo's good, but Halo could be better.
Yes, no,
And
I
I
definitely agree with
think,
that.
I think Sledgehammer Games can push them over the edge to make that, especially since they're switching over to the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So who knows what it's gonna be like for Halo? I mean, I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm very curious because I don't know if you remember, but a while ago, I want to say like maybe a decade ago, there was rumors that Sledgehammer was working on a action adventure a game in the Call of Duty universe. I don't know if it was going to be called Call of Duty, but it was going to be like an action adventure game, like third person, and like it was just going to be, I don't know if it was going to be open world or anything, but it wasn't going to be first person shooter. It wasn't going to be a traditional Call of Duty game. They were working on it and then it got canceled for whatever reason. So the fact that Sledgehammer is reportedly going to be working on Call of Duty or Halo makes me think that maybe they are going to do that, because it doesn't make sense to just do the same thing. Like if you're going to have a whole new developer working on Halo, you got to do something different. And I think that's what Halo has been missing. Like they need to branch out. Halo universe is too big. Be actually fight. There's so much try and work with to do something different. And I think ODST was the right, never really followed through with it fully. Like now that Xbox and Microsoft has all these studios, they can put that and let studios work on popular IP that they normally wouldn't have. So Sledgehammer is interesting. I hope that that's what they're doing, that they're not just going to make another Halo game. And I want them to do something different. I want them to really, like, push out the universe and do something that hasn't been done before within the Halo universe, because that's what people want. That's what, like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, like, oh, they should do a Halo horror game with the Flood. Like, that seems like money. But for whatever reason, they just never did it. But hopefully this is a sign that that's what they're going towards.
Well, I mean, with them switching to Unreal, they don't have to worry about maintaining the subspace engine or upgrading it because it's old. So they got a lot of potential right here. Yeah. To work some amazing Unreal. I've seen even like the showcase video that weeks ago, the landscapes looked amazing. There's really assets within Unreal, so you can imagine when they take time to develop a game in that engine, how good it will look.
Yeah, so I definitely am looking forward to this. We're probably not going to hear it for years, but the fact that it's happening, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, definitely it's years away, but the fact that we're hearing anything is good news. Now I guess we're gonna switch it to slightly good, slightly bad news. Who knows? We'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about WB. Warner Brothers Game is going to double down on some of its most popular gaming franchises after them losing a lot of money, in particular with Suicide Squad. They want to refocus and rebrand to focus on the games that are actually making them money, including Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, even some Game of Thrones games, and DC. And they specified in Batman. Major games that make. I think they need to go back to that. You know, they need to go back to making good Batman games. Because I don't think Suicide Squad
Yeah.
really did anything for it.
I think they took a risk and it didn't pay off with Suicide Squad. But honestly, I'm more surprised because I remember, was it last year or maybe it was like a few months ago, that I think they said WB was gonna focus less on like single player games and they wanted to do more like live service games and stuff like that. And that Hogwarts Legacy, despite it being very successful, that they were just gonna like abandon it. Not abandon it, but not put focus on it. But I think they decided to change course, and now we're gonna see a sequel, because like the sequel was never confirmed up until this report. So I'm glad to see that, because I know that game was very popular, and I mean, it's probably gonna take another like 7 years to come out, but it's good that they're kind of. What happened?
I was gonna say, who knows? Because their live service pitch was supposed to have like 12 to 20 different games come out, and that obviously didn't work. They don't want to have 10 to 12 misses, of over $100 million each game. That will bankrupt the company. So I think they're switching back to the single player and or multiplayer fighting games with Mortal Kombat. And I think they're going to focus on the games that are just going to make them more money. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a good thing, and I'm glad to hear that they kind of realize their mistake. And you know why I think they decided to change course? I just thought about it right now.
Go ahead, say it.
Concord.
I knew it.
I think they saw what happened with Concord, and they were just like, "Nah, we're not trying to do that." So, yeah, honestly, that I feel like the timing of everything, it kind of lends itself to be that, But yeah, no, this is good. I'm glad that they're refocusing on like the single player games, and I mean, it's not a bad idea to focus on a certain amount of like AAA games, because a lot of times the publishers tend to they want every game to be like a AAA game, and it's like that's not realistic. Like you can't have like 10 to 12 AAA games. Like no, you can have like maybe 4 or 5, like that you release throughout like a few years, and then you do sequels for them, like, and then you intersperse them or intersperse between them a bunch of smaller games. So hopefully that's what that means, that they're gonna focus on the big tentpole titles, and then like in between those they'll do smaller games, or maybe not, like I don't know. But yeah, I do appreciate that they're gonna focus on those games, and hopefully we'll have something with them within the next couple years, because I think all those games have had, I mean, with the exception of Batman, but I guess you could count Suicide Squad as a Batman game, kind of, sort of.
How dare you?
No, I mean, it takes place within the universe, and it's done by Rocksteady, so
You're in timeout.
I'm not saying that it is a Batman game. I'm just saying it counts as a Batman game.
Defend yourself. Don't let him talk to you like this.
I am. I'm trying. But yeah, again, it might be a while before we even see this, but it's good that they're refocused.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess the last Batman game that they did was Shadows, because that came out.
Oh yeah, that was on the VR. Yeah,
the VR. Yeah, which was actually successful. In terms of VR, it did really well.
I guess it's just, how you gonna have Batman without Kevin Conroy?
That's true.
Look,
that's true.
We gotta make sacrifices. Like, I understand your feelings, but the franchise needs to go on. Money has to be made.
Yeah, I guess it just feels icky.
It does, but I understand. I fully understand where you're coming from.
And you know who can be Kevin Conroy? Troy Baker. Call him up.
Troy Baker. He can.
Troy Baker.
He played the Joker. He can play Batman too.
Yes. Troy Baker is a genius. Call him up.
Oh no, I thought you was going to say Robert Pattinson.
I mean,
How dare you? No, stop.
I really
he was
thought
pretty
you.
good as Batman. I didn't mind him as Batman.
No, yeah, he
Well,
did a good job.
I was so ready for you to say that. I was like, do you do it, Robert Pattinson? I was like, well, that's a good turn.
What? No, Troy Baker is like a voice acting genius. If he can sound like
He's
Harrison
everybody.
Ford.
No,
For
I know
Indiana
exactly who he
Jones.
is.
Yeah, he
He
can
can do anything and
whatever
everyone.
genre. Yeah. Call him up. The next bit of news, we'll just jump right into it. It was a big surprise the other day where a PlayStation exclusive came to Xbox. Kojima dropped Death Stranding, the director's cut, at half the price on Microsoft platforms. It was literally out of nowhere. So right now, I think it's for the next 7 days. Don't quote me on that.
It's 13 days.
Oh, to the next 13 days.
Well, maybe 12 now because that's what I saw when I bought it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe let's call it a 10.
Yeah,
The
10.
next 10 days, you can purchase Death Stranding, the director's cut, for half off. For $20, you can get this game. It's coming to the Xbox consoles. It's gonna be a Play Anywhere title, which is really big, really cool that they did that. And you could jump right into, I guess, the best version of the game for half off, which is really absolutely amazing.
Yeah, nobody saw this coming. Like it literally just on a random morning on what was it, like a Thursday, it just dropped.
It was
And,
Thursday morning.
yeah, there's just no warning, no rumors, no nothing. It just dropped.
Yeah.
And I bought it because it's Kojima. I mean, I did have it on PlayStation. PlayStation on my main console, so I don't tend to play games on there. So I just never got around to playing it. But now that it's on Xbox, it's more likely that I'm gonna play it. And that it's Play Anywhere, I'm definitely more likely to play it. But no, this is good, and it's also a sign that PlayStation's gonna start releasing games on other platforms. Even though technically, the Xbox version is published by 505 Games, which is they also published the PC version. I think because in the press release they said that they now have full rights to it, Kojima Productions, so now they can partner with any publisher for it. When you launch the game on Xbox, it says PlayStation Interactive Entertainment. I think that's just more of like a crediting thing. Like they did help with development for the game, so I think they still get credit. I don't know if they get royalties from it. Maybe they do. But this is a sign that maybe PlayStation might be looking at releases on Xbox going forward.
I mean, I don't think this is a bad thing, honestly.
No, it's definitely
people
not a
that
bad thing.
The more people that are able to play games, the more money these companies can make. And the more money they make, the better games we are going to get. So just release things everywhere. That's it.
I think this,
You know?
yeah, this is more as a sign that that's where the direction is going. That every game is going to release, well, majority of games are going to release everywhere. Yeah, they will still have some exclusives, but for the most part, I think a lot of games, and maybe it'll be like a time thing, like because this game came out when, like
2019 in this?
Yeah, 2019. So, yeah, maybe it's just like older games will just release elsewhere. Like, why not? Like, if you're not making any more sales, release it elsewhere. Like, it makes the most sense.
Yeah, they need to do something because PlayStation needs to make up, what is it, $400 million from Concord?
Well,
So, no, but yeah, I mean, they're coming out with Spider-Man 2 on PC less than 2 years than the supposed, timing of the releases. It was 2 years, now it's only a year and a couple months. Who knows? Next thing you know, it'll be 6 months, and the next thing you know, it'll be day and date.
possibly.
Possibly day
But
and date.
we'll see as time goes on. Maybe with these tariffs, PlayStation will be more inclined to release multi-platform.
Oh no,
too far gone.
More than, you know?
well, we have Donald Trump. Well, we have Donald Trump to thank for multi-platform games.
Hey, listen, all I'm gonna say is that you should definitely
No.
listen to the song FDT by YG and Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, shut up. Shut your mouth.
With that, we're moving on. So this was a big news that dropped. I don't like this news at all. We're gonna get right into it. Nvidia decides to cap streaming hours on GeForce Now instead of raising fees. So Nvidia is announcing some big changes to GeForce Now cloud streaming services. Existing priority membership is being renamed to Performance, with a 1440p streaming, ultra wide resolution support, and the ability to save graphic settings across streaming sessions. NVIDIA is also introducing a 100-hour monthly playtime cap for new Performance or Ultimate GeForce Now members starting January 1st, 2025. Now, they go on to say it's because they don't want to raise fees. But this is going to happen January 1st for new people, but they say by January 1st of 2026 everybody's going to be on this. So it's only for like a year, and then everybody will be on the 100-hour playtime cap. And I don't like this at all. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they say their data states that it's going to affect less than 6% of GeForce Now subscribers, it's still really, really shitty.
Yeah. The idea and the optics of it is definitely questionable. And I mean, I don't use GeForce Now, but still, the fact that they're gonna cap hours is kind of like regressing, you know?
Yeah.
I have to think that this has more to do with them wanting, because all right, so if you use xCloud, and like that doesn't have a cap, but it does have a queue and during peak hours. And if you're playing like on a Friday night, if you're trying to load up like a Fortnite or anything like that, you're gonna run into queues and you're gonna have to wait like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get into your game. I think this is to avoid having to do that. And I think that's why they're trying to instill caps so that way they don't have to do queues. Also, so that they don't have to degrade quality, because I know that's also a thing on xCloud where it'll jump from quality. Like I think it's like 1080p, and then it'll jump to 720p if it's like too much of a strain or anything like that. But with NVIDIA GeForce Now, I think there is no like, I mean, it's based on your connection, obviously, but I think it's just so that way they don't have to do any other corner cutting. It's still shitty, like obviously.
It gets worse, because if you hit the 100-hour cap, if you're a Performance subscriber, if you can buy 15-hour blocks priced at $3 for 15 hours.
Also, they're gonna charge you extra
if you want more than the 100 hours. Yes. So if you hit 100 hours while you're playing, I guess a pop-up will come up and say you have to purchase an extra 15 hours for $2.99.
Okay,
and
that's
if you're ultimate, the ultimate subscriber, it'll be 15 hours priced at $6, $5.99. So it's I don't know. What you're saying sounds correct with the quality and queue times. What you're saying sounds correct. I think this is just a way for them to say, "Hey, listen, you're gonna have to pay us more if you want to play more." Which is
I didn't know
really
about that.
shitty.
I didn't know about that part. That's really shitty. Like,
Yeah, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
that's literally nickel and diming. Like,
Exactly. If Xbox came to me and said, "Oh, you can only play 100 hours of Game Pass games for your Ultimate subscription, and if you want to play more, you have to purchase extra hours," I would unsubscribe immediately. Get out of here! You're not gonna nickel and dime me to play my games.
Yeah, no, that's really bad. Yeah, I can't think of like I can't think of a reason for that other than greed. Like that's
It's greed. It's greed. I don't believe them saying, "Oh, it's to help them from not raising fees." They're raising the fees secretly.
yeah.
They
They're
always
secretly
are.
raising the fee. It's ridiculous. That really just pissed me off.
I would rather them just raise the price of the subscription at that point. Like why even like
Exactly. What is the price of the subscription? I think it's $20 for the ultimate, and the performance is $10. Why not just put the performance at $20 and the ultimate at 25? There you go. There goes your price increase.
yeah.
Because like an extra $6 for the ultimate members to play more, even if it's 6%, that's a lot. It's a lot of money that people will buy. People want to be able to play their games, and sometimes GeForce Now is the only way that they can play a bunch of their games all together on the cloud. They don't have a console, or their PC is not good enough to play some of the latest games, so they use GeForce Now. It's really shitty that they're doing this.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully maybe they'll do like an about face and kind of like uh adjust it so that way it's not as shitty, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well, we'll report back on GeForce Now if they make a change or if they are going to continue with this. It looks like they are. I hope the backlash from this really does turn them around. Let's get into some better news. Mass Effect is coming out with a TV series. That's right, you heard it here. Amazon, from the directors of Fast and the Furious 9, they will be making a Mass Effect TV series. And this is huge. I love Mass Effect. Although I did play it backwards. I played Andromeda first.
I don't know how you did that.
Listen, when Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 came out, I was knee deep in like competitive gaming. Okay, I was at some point top 200 on Rainbow Six, and then we were top 500 for Call of Duty World at War. This is around the same time these games are out, so I never got to play the original Mass Effect trilogy when it came out on the 360 and or PS3.
Yeah.
I was heavy competitive into these other games. I was really, really into that. So I didn't get to play a lot of games. So now, as I'm not as competitive, I'm a father, full-time worker. So it's like, whatever time I do have, I'll play other games. So Andromeda was my first one. And although people did not like it, I actually really liked it. And it made me play Mass Effect, the first three, and they were great games. And I actually really love the series, and I can't wait for a whole TV series because, I mean, so far Amazon's doing great. They did the Fallout TV show, and that was really good.
Yeah.
So I have high hopes for this series. I love space and all types of things with space, so I can't wait for this.
Yeah. I mean, you already know how I feel about Mass Effect. Like, it's literally like my favorite franchise of all time. So I am deeply excited for this. I remember hearing rumors about this for decades, like at this point. There's even well, at the time, I don't know if it's still true. We'll see. That Henry Cavill was tied to this series because there was an Instagram post because when he was still with The Witcher, he posted a picture where he was like getting his makeup done and stuff like that. And this is me being like overly analyzing and stuff like that. If you look at the picture on his like where the mirror is on his desk, whatever, you can see a script. And you would think, oh, it's probably from The Witcher. But if you zoom in, you can see that it says details that are related to Mass Effect. Like it says something about the Quarians and Tali and the Genophage and all this and that. So he could potentially be involved with this series. I don't know if that means he'll be Shepard, because and that's one thing too. Like, as much as I'm excited for this, I'm also very curious and not worried, but I want to know how they're gonna tackle, because Mass Effect is heavily an RPG. So choice is like the main focus of Mass Effect, and how it, like, cause somebody's playthrough might be completely different than somebody else's. How are they going to translate that to a TV show where you can't choose? I guess they did it with Fallout, so maybe it's possible. But Fallout, it wasn't really about like the story of Fallout. Like, it just took place within Fallout, like the universe of Fallout. So maybe that might be what is gonna happen. Like, maybe it's not gonna be about Commander Shepard. Maybe it's just gonna be something that happens within the Mass Effect universe. Um, we'll have to see. But I'm really excited for this, and I hope it ends up being really good, because I need more Mass Effect, okay? And the only reason I was excited for Dragon Age to be successful is because I want Mass Effect to be like, I want them to get on with Mass Effect, you know? And I want that to be good. So, I mean, based on what we've heard about Dragon Age, it's gotten good reviews and it's selling pretty well. So
Doing
hopefully,
all right.
yeah, it's doing
all right.
okay. So hopefully that means like Mass Effect is in good hands. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. Hopefully they can like coincide with the release, you know? Give us the TV show and then the game, or the game and then the TV show. Like, that makes sense, right? I mean, that's kind of what happened with Fallout. When the TV show came, people jumped to Fallout 4, and because that was the only game, and Fallout 76. But those were the games that were most recent in the franchise. So if EA was smart, they would do that. They would release them simultaneously, so that way, hey, you like the TV show? You can play the game. Hey, you like the game? You can watch the TV show. Like, synergy.
You know, I feel like you're too optimistic about that.
I have
You
to
Mass Effect, you Mass Effect nerds. God damn it.
I have to be optimistic, okay? I can't let this franchise die. I can't let it fail, okay?
It's not going to fail. That's fucking 4 games already.
Hey,
A
listen,
failure is
you
if it
don't-
didn't make it past 3, 2.
you don't know how disappointed I was with Andromeda. And I know Brother Zay was playing it. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see gameplay of it. It's not the same.
No, so when it concerns Andromeda, okay, I played it years after its initial release.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
you got
didn't-
the better version of it.
I played probably the better version of Andromeda. I do know that it did come out kind of like a buggy mess, and people were upset about who was doing like the facial and animations, because it was somebody who wasn't really a professional, so to speak, doing it. There was more like just I guess just a DEI hire at that point. But for me, when I played it, I enjoyed it. I really liked the story. I really enjoyed the combat, although it's very different from the original trilogy. I really enjoyed it, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I know that may be controversial to you. I know you're like you want to like hit me right now. I know it. But
My
for
blood
me,
is boiling.
you know,
Why?
for me, it was just like, okay, now I know what Mass Effect is. Let me play the other games, and now I love the original trilogy. The original trilogy is great. So be glad that that I liked Andromeda, and I didn't be like, man, Mass Effect is terrible. I'm never playing any of these games.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Man, this is
you could have
where
been
why-
turned off from the franchise. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? It did good. It did good because it put me onto the original trilogy, and I fell in love with it. Now we get to fall in love all over again with this TV show that's coming out.
Yes. Well, hopefully it comes out within the next few years. Because I mean, I know we heard it was greenlit, but we don't know when production starts.
Oh, yeah.
Or if it started already. So we'll see. Well, I'm definitely excited. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Speaking of looking forward to it, Gears of War E-Day. I'm so looking forward to that game. And even more now that we finally got confirmation that John DiMaggio and Carlos Ferrero are coming back as Marcus and Dom. That is, to me, is I was gonna play the game anyway, day one, the second it comes out, but this just makes it even better. This duo right here, these voice actors. First of all, I've actually met John DiMaggio at Comic-Con. He's an awesome dude. And I love his work. He's been in so many different franchises, different games. So just to hear that he's coming back it's a real treat. So Gears E-Day, it's set I think I want to say 15, maybe 20 years after before the very first game, before Gears 1. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this sort of like friendship really build in the absolute terrible times that E-Day is. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I mean, I feel like it was a no-brainer. How can you have a Dom and Marcus story without Dom and Marcus? Like they are those characters. Like, like you can't have them without the other. That's like, you ever watch the TV show where it's like a long-running TV show, and then like the last season or two they changed one of the voice actors, and it's just like, that's not the same character. Like, why did they change them? Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, this seemed like a no-brainer. You have to have the original Marcus and Dom in order to tell this story. And I'm glad that they signed on for I don't want to say the next years, but I mean, it is the next years. But yeah, I'm hopefully, I mean, we talked about it before. We don't know when it's coming out. I feel like it might be coming out sooner rather than later. Because why would they announce it so far in advance,
Well, they announced it when did they announce the actual game?
Last year.
The
It
game
was last year at the... Or no, this year. They announced it at the Xbox Showcase, yeah.
Yes, the Xbox Showcase. It was this year. And they announced it, I guess it was 2 days ago on the 7th. So a couple days ago on the 7th, they announced it because it was the 18th anniversary of Gears of War. So they announced that John DiMaggio and Carlos Ferrero are returning. So maybe for the 19th anniversary, we get this game. Who knows?
Well,
Fingers crossed.
I'll have to...
It will be November 7th.
November... So then, if I had to guess, it would probably be either... I mean, obviously, next year or 2026. I'm leaning more towards 2026 because next year's already kind of loaded.
Yeah, and the 20th anniversary would be perfect.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do it at that time. So
let them cook.
Exactly. Let them cook.
And I mean, we know the Coalition, they work magic when it concerns the Unreal Engine. They know what they're doing. So I know this is gonna be great. I can't wait to jump into this game.
I'm very excited for it.
E-Day was like because I've read the book, so I know about E-Day, and we only got to play like a little bit in like it's like half of a mission in the actual game. So where they do like a flashback. So like to get a whole game surrounded by Marcus and Dom in E-Day, it's gonna be real special.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we got for the news. It was a lot.
Yeah, we brushed through a lot of news.
It's all good. Some good things coming. I need you.
What's up?
No, just nerding out over Mass Effect. It's fantastic part of all series.
You should get into it. I got Brother Jay into it.
Nah, it's okay.
How dare you?
I know all the I know Mass Effect. I played it before. Actually, I played it before. I enjoyed the story. It's just I don't want to play it again.
How dare you? That's like you're stabbing me in the heart right now. I
Yeah.
always want to play it. I would play it right now if I didn't get all the achievements already. Like I literally have no reason to play it.
You understand? Your favorite series is that. My two is Kingdom Hearts and Uncharted. Let's let it be.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts is also up there.
I know it's a problem. I'm staring at Kingdom Hearts 3 right now on top over my bed.
Well,
Thinking about
anyway,
maybe I should. Yep.
Remember, you can like us on YouTube and subscribe if you're watching there. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can rate us and share the link with other people so that way we can reach more people, because that's ultimately what we want to do. If you listen to, or if you look into the description, you can find our sponsors, which is W Energy, NordVPN, and Starforge Systems PCs. You can click those links and they will support, you will support them and they will support us. So with that being said, thank you for listening. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.
Oh.